Rob, welcome to the SAINTCON Hallway.
Hi. Cool.
Yeah.
I don't know how to respond to thank you, I guess is the right response. Sorry.
First time at SAINTCON?
Yes.
Thoughts so far? I know it's only day one, but
I think it's bigger than I was expecting. The talks that I've been in so far are all on AI, but
as the trend is for 2025.
right. But it's been good so far. I can smell the food, so
You need me to wrap this up. All right, and we're done. Just kidding.
But it's in an amazing location. I'm just looking around, and I know that people watching this can't see it, but there's literal LED mountains right there.
Oh gosh.
For reference, that was a joke from last night. Right?
Yeah. We had somebody who came from out of country, and they were asking me if the windows were LEDs. It's on one of the previous hallways. Are these LEDs? And I'm like, what are you talking about? It is the mountains.
It's really not impending. I guess what's the word where something is encroaching?
Yeah.
I guess they're really close.
They're aggressive.
They're aggressive.
These are aggressive mountains. These aren't East Coast mountains. Yeah, they're aggressive. You have a hacker handle.
I do.
Was this earned, given, claimed, fought for?
God,
Highlander battle?
You're gonna make me tell this story. Okay, cool. Here we go.
This sounds even better. I'm glad I asked.
So when I was in the Marine Corps, I was over in Okinawa, Japan for 4 years, and the best we had was dial-up. And this was at the time where cable internet was very common in the U.S. already, and so dial-up 14.4, super slow.
Yeah.
So all the online gaming and even World of Warcraft when it was starting, EverQuest or EverCrack, I did not have access to any of that. I did not know it was happening or existing. So the games that we would play over in the barracks were like Age of Empires and stuff like that you could play locally. So when I got back to the States in 2005-ish, I was over at Quantico, Virginia, and a bunch of people were playing World of Warcraft at the in the MAR CERT, the Marine Corps CERT. And so some of these contractors and some of the other Marines that were there, they're like, hey, you should come play. You're a gamer too, right? I'm like, yeah, I play quite a few games, but I'm not used to the online stuff. So anyways, fast forward a bit, they finally convinced me to play. I go get EverQuest installed, and there's the random name generator. And I go random name generator a bunch of times, and got New Bullseye. And I was like, that's
New Bullseye.
That's amazing. I love the name. And so when I join, I get around, and everyone's super friendly. They're saying, "Hey, noob, what's up, noob? How you doing, noob?" And giving me stuff and all kinds of. I thought they were being super friendly. This is the most amazing community game that I haven't played any online games really, other than Ultima Online way back in the day. But I've never experienced such a welcoming community. So my friends. I thought they were my friends. Continue, and we play this game, and I get constantly referenced as we're traveling through EverQuest and World of Warcraft. Hey, what's up, noob? I didn't know what this meant.
I thought for sure you knew it, noob.
Nope, had no idea what a newbie was. And so 6 months go by where they are just laughing their butts off, and even at work, and I am the butt of every joke. But
you're getting free stuff, yeah?
I am getting free stuff.
Maybe there's a hack here.
There's a positive, right?
Yeah.
And so I finally get really embarrassed. They tell me what's going on. One of the guys at work finally tells me. And so I get back. I'm like, I'm going to delete this character. I'm going to start fresh, which lost all of my stuff.
Yeah, sucks.
Right? Embarrassed, though, right? And so I create a new character. I take New Bullseye. I like it. So I switch N to M and Xi to X, and I Google the hell out of it. I'm not going to have this happen to me again.
It's leet noob. You're like, damn it.
Yeah. So Mubix, I searched online, and there was one result, and that was a Russian researcher from the 1800s, and I knew that
he's probably dead.
I'm good, right? And that's how Mubix came to be, and that's how it like really started. But I had so many of the traditional hacker handles when I was younger. Like I had, what's the guy? Zero Cool.
Yeah.
I had that was mine for a bit. Like
a lot of Morpheuses
like,
out in the world.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
So I had all those before Mubix, but like that's what I've stuck with. That's the one that I'm pretty much known by.
So the first one that you were able to pick, I don't know if it's like your AOL or Juno, like where you picked that name, game or other, what did you pick?
Oh,
you had your freedom. You're old. You can just pick whatever you want. What was it?
Oh man, that's going to be embarrassing as well. I think it was like Viper or something.
Viper.
VYPER. Like I had to be different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like Viper 1 or something like that.
Wasn't there like some TV show about Viper?
No, probably.
Anyway. So how'd you get into the cybers? One day you're not in cybers. At some point you start a path to the cybers.
Yeah. So the Marine Corps kind of helped there. They throw me into the Marine Corps cert about halfway through my career when I switched from being a combat engineer 1371 over to 0656 with tactical data communication specialist. Long-winded way of saying I connect cables. And I like thoroughly enjoyed it. But before that, when I was like home growing up, like cheating at games was my game. And that's a long story, but like my mom hated that I loved like the Game Genies and the Game Sharks and stuff like that. She thought I was ruining the games. But like figuring out the hex code that saved your like that put the memory address to make your health bar stay at 100. That was always the funnest part of my games. And just figuring out and getting the story out of them, but also like not having to deal with all the extra like grinding and stuff like that. So like game hacking was kind of my entry level into it. When my first experience with actual hackers and hacking was before the Marine Corps, and I joined Pound Hack on FNet probably, and like I had installed Linux for the first time. I think it was Mandrake Linux.
I was about to say, which distro?
Yeah, and a bunch of floppies. And I
reinsert disk 6.
Yeah, and I asked, "Hey, I want to learn how to hack. How do I do that?" And the prevailing answer at the time was init 6. And I did that a few times before I caught on what it was. And I was like, screw hackers. I hate them all.
Bunch of dicks.
So for those who don't know, init 6 reboots your system. It's the run level 6. So that was great. So instantly offline, like rebooting my computer. I'm like, I got hacked.
These guys, they're good.
So that's kind of where I got into it. But in the Marine Corps, found out about these guys doing a podcast called Hack 5 down in Williamsburg, Virginia. Quantico, Virginia is not too far from there. Joined the channel, started talking to them, and really took off from there. Like I learned a lot of stuff through them. I learned about the community through them. Got to interact with a lot of people through that. My first like foray into that was joining the episode 9, I think, of they had for USB like little portable executables. I love those. I actually fixed a lot of stuff in the Marine Corps network that way, like taking around my little USB stick to fix things. And that's kind of how I got into it. Sorry, that was pretty long-winded.
No, it's great. And then you've been tent polling in some things, Windows.
Tent polling.
You have your tent and what the thing that's the highest. Like, what's the niche of cyber that what would you say your expertise lies in right now?
Gotcha. I do like Windows. I understand how it works. I've dived into that pretty significantly. I like crypto all of a sudden. Like last 5 or 6 years, I've really gotten into crypto.
What does crypto mean to you? Because that's a loaded thing.
I'm sorry, cryptography.
Okay.
Like I've enjoyed
Not
it.
the coins. I like the coins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed getting into cryptography on a practical level, not at a theoretical or like a educational level. I like how it's implemented and figuring that out, because it's a lot simpler than a lot of people like make it out to be, and it's a lot more broken because a lot of implementations take a lot of the same jumps and leaps that we take in other types of cybersecurity stuff, like admin, you'll find like an RSA encryption key or like a public-private key, where the key one half of the key is like 56 bits, and it's like easy to get the modules out of it. Like it's really super simple, but it's wrapped in this other 5 layers
that makes it look hard and complex.
Makes it look super.
Because I'll be honest, it looks hard and complex, and it's math.
It is a lot of math.
You start losing me real quick when it comes to math.
I think the hardest part of cryptography, hands down, for anyone that wants to get into it, is that it's just a guesswork. You have to know. It's like steganography. Like, so on a CTF, if you have cryptography involved in it, you got to know what the person who built it was thinking at the time. And if you don't know all of those parameters, you're not going to get anything out of it. But if you do, if you can find what people like made assumptions on, it just falls apart. It just is there and laid bare. And I did a talk at ShmooCon about this whole thing, like how easy it is for Open Manager to get all the like passwords out of it, because their encryption is based on the word Mickey.
What?
Like it does a 3-des and does like RSA on top of that, but it does all of this on top of just
Mickey.
the word Mickey.
That's wild.
And so like they add all this encryption onto it, but once you know what encryption they use and the keyword that's way in the base of it,
I feel like if I stumbled across Mickey, I would think it was not right.
Right.
I'd be like, how's this weird artifact in here?
Yeah.
That's wild.
So those are the 2 temples like that I got is Windows. But honestly, my biggest thing right now is like cybersecurity leadership. I've been really digging into like, what does that mean? How do we push our industry forward instead of just pointing backwards at all the things that are and have been broken?
Right. Actual ways to solve real problems.
Yeah. Trying to get there.
Yeah. We got a lot of them.
Yep.
It's a nice booming industry. So,
yeah.
And the vibe coding is not slowing it down any.
No. Yeah. I mean, vibe coding, we talked a little bit earlier about all that and different languages or models and stuff to use for vibe coding. One of the serious impacts I think that I've seen in vibe coding, and I've talked about a little bit, is how, depending on what model you're using and depending on how that's trained, and there are a lot of companies that are actually building their own models, which is like super dangerous in my mind. Like there are big companies that are learning how to do this right way, and they're still messing it up.
Right.
But going back to the thing, there have been a couple instances, not a lot, not a bunch of like newsworthy instances, but where someone has done vibe coding on an application that resulted in like direct SQL injection or direct RCE, because the model was trained on a bunch of GitHub repos that had those in them, right?
Yeah.
So just because like the model is good at predicting, it's based on the information that it was trained on. So if that was bad SQL injections, like that's what you're gonna get.
I helped a buddy out who he was having some issue with some app, and it pulled in ngrok and with a connection, because it was in the example of the GitHub.
Yeah.
But it was like a stateful network. I'm like, what the hell is this? You're infected. And I was like, oh, this is dangerous. If you don't know what you're looking for, it can get wild real quick.
Yeah.
So like, and he didn't care about any of that. He was trying to figure out why this one piece wasn't working. And I'm like, what the hell is this? What is this network connection going out? Yeah. And so, it's a little, it's good for the security team at the moment, because it is.
I mean, the saying is we're never going to be out of work, right? So
the amount of clear text things that I've seen pick up in the last year is wild.
What do you mean by that?
So Black Hat Asia, Black Hat US, seeing way more clear text right now. And I'm pretty sure it's vibe coding's reason. Okay. People are spinning up an app. They're spinning up an MCP server. They don't know how to OAuth. They never told it to do those things. So all their stuff's in the clear. All these things are back end. They told AI, and it's like, yeah, I built this back end Go server, and I built this front end here, and it's just HTTP from their house to the internet. And it's I'm like, crazy. Okay. So many weather apps in the clear, so many chat apps in the clear, so many. And I'm like, it's picking up.
Interesting.
Not a good way.
On a down way.
Yeah.
We're going back up.
We're going back up.
Cool.
Vibe coding's helping or hurting. Both. I like it. I do a lot of it, but
Okay.
In your free time when you're not cybers and you're trying not to be burnt out by it, what's something that you enjoy doing hobby wise that somebody here at a conference can come up and chat with you about and have a commonality with you?
For probably 20 years, or at least 18 of them, my answer would be nothing. I 100% enjoy cybersecurity. Like, that's what I do on my free time. I have a lab at home that, like, when I'm not, hanging out with my kids or doing stuff with my wife and that kind of thing, like family stuff. If I'm not working or family stuff, I'm in my basement, like building the thing that I learned about at a conference or trying out the tool that just got released or whatever. And yeah, so, but for the last like 4 or 5 years, I'd say leadership, just the leadership principles and what one of those turning points really was when an individual at a previous job came up to me and said, hey, you understand that like leadership is a skill that you have to work on, and like it's not just something you're born with or anything like that. And everyone kind of gets that, but I don't think really truly groks it. Like it is a thing that you must like to be good at it. I mean, anybody can kind of like be a manager, but to be good at leadership, I think that you have to put the same amount of time in that you did trying to figure out how Windows works or how Metasploit works or whatever.
There is a big difference between a manager and a leader.
Yeah.
An actual leader.
Yeah.
Not somebody with the title leader, but it's somebody you actually want to follow.
Right. And so I think that one of the things that really drove that home was when I started seeing like principal engineers want to get into like a management role and their pay drop like significantly. And they were like, what the hell? Why can't I keep like, I have more responsibility over here. I have more things that I have to do. I'm like, and well,
you're a cost center now. You're not a,
you went from being an expert in your field to being new to your field. And I don't think a lot of people understand that because a manager is, when you are starting off as a manager, you are new to your field. You are the intern. You are just starting. Like, I don't care how good you are at cybersecurity. That's going to play into your role, but you're brand new. And I think that for me, that transition was hard because I didn't understand that for a while. But as soon as I understood that, I dove right in and started really digging into leadership and what that means. And every book that I could get my hands on and every like podcast I could get my hands on what that meant and what that means to me.
What's take all that information and distill it to 30 seconds. No, but what's get started. What's one thing they could take and try implementing now? How to be a better leader.
How to be that is a long conversation.
And yeah, it could be long, but like what's the thing that like, I wish more people focused on this, or what's something that you're just seeing like a vacuum of?
So I think that actually, I'll just reference what The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team is one of the well-known books in leadership. One of the things that is not one of the dysfunctions, but really just broke my brain. Like one of the things, like if you ever been into a conference talk and you're like, that's possible?
Right.
That was my moment in this book. You are on 2 teams and you're a leader. You are on the team that you run, and most people understand that intuitively. They like, I have to protect my team. I'm part of this team. I want to move forward. Good leaders do that. Like not everybody. Like, but the other team you're part of is your peers, and yes, that's easy to understand.
Peers at the org or peers outside of the org? Peers
anywhere in the org. You are on that team. So if you're, let's say that I'm a senior manager on a cyber team, right?
Yeah.
Inside of the incident response team. Well, the senior manager over in the red team and the senior manager over in the forensics team, those are my peers, right? And I might never talk to them, but I should be.
Right.
And so when I started thinking of myself as part of that team as well, and I'm an individual contributor on that team, I started seeing them as my team members, and I started talking to them more and just complaining to them more and like just vibing with them more, right? Like
trying to help them
and seeing what they're working on and seeing like and seeing what their like hardships were and things like that. And it really, really changed how I thought about my role in the organization. It was no longer, this is my team, I will protect my team, everyone else can screw off. It was, I'm part of this team, I have to be an individual contributor on this team, and I have to put just as much effort into that as I did when I was an individual contributor on a red team or a pen test team. And that was a big thing for me. That's the one thing I think more people should take into leadership.
Great. Appreciate you downloading that giant information to me in something simple that I can digest. What's next for you? What's the next project? What's the next thing you're excited about?
So two things, and I'll probably be talking about this in my talk, but like two things next in my career are I want to be a CISO. And a lot of people don't want to.
You still have hair?
Yeah, I still have.
You want to be a CISO? It's a pretty stressful job, yeah.
This is true, and a lot of people are like, this is. A lot of people talk about why you don't want to be a CISO, and like all the stress that goes along with it, all the responsibility, all the things that could like be legally binding, and some of the like. Legal battles that CISOs have gone through in recent years and the SEC stuff that has happened. And I think that for me, none of that matters. It's important to know that it happens, but I want to be a CISO because I feel that I have a relatively unique career where I've been at a bunch of different companies and consulted and contracted at a bunch of different companies where I've seen magic happen. And what I mean by magic is there are these tropes in cybersecurity, like the user's always going to click, the red team's always going to get in, all of these things that have become normal and expected in our careers and in cyber in general. And I've seen where those don't actually hold up. Where some admin
is doing something right,
is doing something amazing,
right? That
no longer is an issue at all. Right. Like not 50% of the time, not 80% of the time, 100% of the time. And when I see those types of things, and I kind of catalog them, right. I'm like, this is an amazing thing. And I've seen, and I like, and just to make it easy, I've seen the 10 things that would make an organization basically impenetrable while still allowing the workers to work, while still allowing everyone to do and have business work. Like not the unplug it and you're going to solve it kind of deal, but like actual solutions. And I feel like I have to be a CISO to get that to happen.
To implement it.
Because there are certain things that I've tried at a bunch of different companies to do some of those things and I hit roadblocks or I don't get executive,
right.
Buy-in from those things and
budget, people, time.
Yeah. So I want the chance to try them. I want to put those 10 together and say, look at this. Like it is possible to solve cybersecurity, to make it at least so that one organization among so many can go and make it so that a forklift driver can check their email, put their time in, double click any link that they want to, and it have no impact on the organization and have no negative things, and have it so that
technical and controls to offset the user and operational.
Absolutely. And so I want that chance. So that's my next step is CISO. I want to try and make that happen. So if there's any companies out there that want to get on board for that kind of change, I'm all about it. But then I want to be a teacher after that. Once I hit the CISO role, once I get to the and try and implement that over the years it'll take to do that. Well, I'm not saying I'm going to be there soon, but I'm already working towards being either an adjunct professor or a high school teacher locally, and teaching is really where my passion is. I do it as much as I can. So I guess going back to your question about what your hobbies are, teaching is hands down one of the things I love to do, and I can't get enough of it. So
what's your teaching methodology?
Oh God. Okay. So when I was applying for an adjunct professorship, the teaching methodology or teaching philosophy is something that most like professors apparently have written up like as a large document that they write. I don't know who reads these things.
Yeah,
but
checkbox.
But I did write one up, and the teaching methodology or the teaching philosophy that I have, I think, is marrying up the theoretical with the possible, and I like getting to the point, and this is throughout my entire career. I think that being a red teamer really leans into that. Is like I don't care. Like I never want to see in a red team report what you could have done. You either did it or you didn't.
Right.
And so I want to put into cybersecurity like training and stuff like that. This is what actually works. Like this is what you can learn. This is like the OSI model is great to like get concepts, but you only really need it when you're troubleshooting and you got to just remember layer one. Like that's the only layer you really need to remember because everything like it's not plugged in is the problem. That or DNS, right? So
yeah.
And that's what I want to do. So my next steps are CISO. Eventually, I'm not looking to it like this immediately instant because I'm learning a lot where I am. And then teacher. That's my next steps.
Awesome. Well, excited for your talk coming up. What day is that on? Wednesday? Thursday. Talk on Thursday. And appreciate you willing to come out here to Utah and let us hear from your expertise. And thanks for chatting with me in the SAINTCON Hallway.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks, Rob.